In 2025, the tech world watched one of its favorite stories fall apart. There was a startup in London that promised something close to magic. Let anyone build an app just by describing it. No coders, no engineers, just artificial intelligence. It was called Builder.ai. Microsoft backed it. Qatar's government backed it. At its peak, it was worth around $1.5 billion. And then people found out the secret. The AI, the thing the whole company was built on, was, to a very large degree, people. Hundreds of human engineers, mostly in India, quietly doing the work a robot was supposedly doing. The internet had a field day. Fake AI? Just guys in a cubicle. Case closed. Except that's not actually the scandal. That's the part everyone remembers. The real reason Builder.ai collapsed is something else entirely. And it's a story that has almost nothing to do with the robots, and everything to do with the money. For a few years, Builder.ai was one of the hottest names in tech. The pitch was simple and irresistible. Building software is slow, expensive, and painful. So, what if you could order an app, the way you order a pizza? Pick your features and let the AI assemble it. The face of it was an AI assistant named Natasha. The face of the company was its founder, a charismatic entrepreneur who gave himself the title Chief Wizard. Investors loved it. The money poured in, more than $400 million of it from some of the biggest names in the world. Microsoft was so convinced it built the assistant into its own team's software. Here's the first problem. Natasha was supposed to do most of the work automatically. The company talked about the AI handling something like 80% of a build. In reality, most of the actual building was done by human engineers, by hand. And this isn't even new information. Back in 2019, the Wall Street Journal reported that the company leaned on human developers far more than its AI story suggested. There's a name for this now: AI washing. Slapping an artificial intelligence label on work that people are mostly doing themselves. And to be fair, those engineers were good. The apps got built. The work was real. Which is an irony we'll come back to. The problem was never that humans were involved. The problem was that the company was selling automation it didn't actually have. Magic costs nothing to repeat. People cost money every single time, so the math underneath the story never really worked. But slow, expensive software wasn't what killed Builder.ai. This is where the real story starts. Because while the world was laughing about fake robots, investigators were looking at something far more serious: the revenue. In May of 2025, Bloomberg reported on documents it had reviewed along with people who had direct knowledge. According to that reporting, Builder.ai and an Indian company called Verse Innovation had been billing each other and for roughly the same amounts year after year from 2021 to 2024. There's a name for that. It's called round tripping. Company A pays Company B pays Company A right back. No real product changes hands, but on paper, both companies suddenly look like they're doing enormous business. Reportedly, the two sides billed each other around $180 million. Now, this is important, and it's why we do this carefully. These are allegations. Verse's co-founder told Bloomberg the claims were, quote, absolutely baseless and false, and called the accusations defamatory and irresponsible. Builder's founder has also denied wrongdoing and disputed the allegations. As of this video, no one has been convicted of anything. But here's what tipped it over. When new leadership came in and looked at the books, an internal review reportedly found the numbers didn't match the story. The company had claimed around $220 million in revenue for 2024. The real figure, according to those reviews, was closer to $50 million. That's not a rounding error. That's the gap between a billion-dollar unicorn and something much, much smaller. And once the real numbers were out, the end came fast. A lender called Viola Credit pulled about $37 million out of the company's accounts. That left Builder.ai with around $5 million frozen, restricted, and its operations stalled across 5 countries. People love to say the company just got unlucky. It didn't get unlucky. That loan was tied to the business performing the way it claimed to. When the claims turned out to be air, the lender pulled the cord. The freeze wasn't the disaster, it was just the moment the disaster became visible. From there, it cascaded. The founder had already stepped down as chief executive earlier that year, though true to form, he kept the chief wizard title on the way out. A last-minute rescue funding round fell through. In May of 2025, employees gathered for a town hall and learned the company was finished. Builder.ai filed for bankruptcy, Chapter 7, in the United States, owing money to more than 200 creditors. Among the names on that list, Microsoft and Amazon. More than $400 million raised, by some counts over $500 million, effectively gone, over 500 employees out, and those engineers in India, the ones the internet mocked, out of work too. And then it became something bigger than one failed startup. Prosecutors in New York, the Southern District, the office that handles major financial crime, opened a criminal investigation into Builder.ai's finances. The FBI served the company's former chief financial officer with a subpoena at an airport. According to Bloomberg, that subpoena referenced wire fraud, securities fraud, and conspiracy. And again, an investigation is not a conviction. The founder denies wrongdoing. Verse denies wrongdoing. As of now, this story is still being written in a courtroom, not just a headline. But step back, and the lesson is almost embarrassingly old. Every gold rush has a magic word, the word that makes investors stop asking hard questions. A few years ago, that word was data. Don't worry how we make money, we'll sell the data. Today, the magic word is AI. It's the easiest story in the world to sell, and one of the hardest to verify. A robot that does 80% of the work sounds incredible. It's also very hard for an investor to walk into a server room and actually check. And round-tripping, companies passing the same money in a circle to look bigger than they are, is not a clever new tech trick. It's one of the oldest illusions in business, in a shiny new wrapper. Which brings us back to that irony. The thing everyone laughed at, the hundreds of human engineers quietly doing the work, was the only part of Builder.ai that actually delivered. The robots were the story. The people were the product. And the thing that finally broke the company was never the technology at all. It was the math. If you want to know how this keeps happening, and it does keep happening, there's an earlier version of this exact scam. Same trick. A different decade. A company that swore its impossible deal was sustainable, sold that story to investors, and ended in a guilty plea. That one's coming next. Subscribe, and you won't miss it. This has been Rise and Ruin. Thanks for watching.